Madhu was a 23-year-old receptionist living in Delhi. Although she was from Gwalior, she had been living in Delhi with her mother for about 15 years. Madhu's father lived in Gwalior. Despite being called many times, her father had not come to meet Madhu for the past 15 years. Madhu's mother often went to Gwalior, but she always made some excuse to prevent Madhu from going to Gwalior, and because of this, Madhu was very upset with both her parents. One day, when Madhu's mother and her sister were in Gwalior, Madhu decided to take leave from her hotel and surprise everyone by going to Gwalior. But as soon as Madhu reached the house in Gwalior, her mother was stunned to see her, as if something terrible had happened. Madhu's mother became extremely anxious and started insisting that Madhu return to Delhi. Madhu found this very strange and told her mother that she had come to meet her father and would not leave without meeting him. It was already late at night. Madhu's mother tried to persuade her a lot, but Madhu did not agree. It was quite late that night, but her father had not yet come home, nor was his phone reachable. Madhu's mother was very worried and was still repeatedly pleading with Madhu to return. Hearing such words from her mother broke Madhu's heart. She began to feel that perhaps her father did not want to meet her, and so she agreed to her mother's request. Just as she was about to leave the house for the railway station, she suddenly felt dizzy and fainted, collapsing on the doorstep. That night, she had a dream where her father was trapped in a maze at the Gwalior Fort and was searching for Madhu. While searching, he reached the roof of the Gwalior Fort. Just then, he saw a girl there who looked like Madhu, but as soon as her father reached her, he realized that it wasn't Madhu, but a terrifying woman, with half of her head missing. Upon seeing this, he fell off the roof of the Gwalior Fort. As soon as he fell, Madhu screamed, "Papa," and woke up from her sleep. It was morning, and there was a crowd at her house. Madhu's mother told her that last night, Madhu's father jumped off the roof of the Gwalior Fort and took his own life. When Madhu heard this, her heart was completely shattered. After everyone left, she immediately took her mother aside and started telling her about her dream. And then her mother told Madhu something that made her soul tremble. In fact, 15 years ago, when Madhu was very young, her parents took her to visit the Gwalior Fort. That day, there was a huge crowd at the fort, which caused little Madhu to get separated from her parents. She got stuck on the lowest floor of the Mansingh Palace. Friends, in 2002, something happened in Gujarat that shook the entire country of India. When the Sabarmati Express, traveling from Muzaffarnagar to Ahmedabad, stopped at Godhra, suddenly 2 of its coaches caught fire and 59 people, that is, 59 people burned to death inside the train. But how did the fire start? To know the truth about the Godhra incident, watch our new crime story, The Godhra Incident, on our crime channel, The Crime Show, on Bloody Monday. The link is in the description and pinned comment. The underground was a place in the Gwalior Fort where very few people usually went. That place is often closed at night, because people say that the spirits of kings and queens who were killed and tormented by the Mughals and the British wander there at night. All these things were increasing the fear of Madhu's parents. But still, they informed the guards that their daughter Madhu was left inside. They all started searching for Madhu together. Meanwhile, Madhu, who was sitting inside, suddenly started hearing the sound of singing. She went on towards the direction of that sound. In no time, Madhu saw a shadow moving ahead of her. When Madhu called out to it, the shadow disappeared into the air. Just then, Madhu felt as if someone was standing behind her. When she turned around, she saw a woman in a white lehenga standing in front of her. Seeing the woman's terrifying face, little Madhu screamed. Half of her face was missing, and there were insects crawling on her hands and feet. Seeing this, Madhu got very scared and ran into a room. She locked the door from the inside and started crying loudly. Just then, she heard the sound of scratching on the wall and saw that the same woman was sitting in a corner of the room writing some chants on the wall. She had a white powder in her hand. Madhu froze on the spot, seeing her, and then the woman slowly turned her face and started crawling towards Madhu. She looked into Madhu's eyes and applied that white powder on her forehead. Madhu started feeling dizzy right then and there, and she fainted on the spot. The next morning, Madhu regained consciousness at the exact point where her father had jumped. After that, Madhu never got up again. Her parents took her to many doctors, but no one could understand why she was stuck in a state of consciousness. She was breathing, but she couldn't open her eyes. It seemed as if she had gone into a coma. Then Madhu's mother called a priest, who, upon seeing Madhu, immediately said that Madhu was cursed by the spirit of a deceased queen's maid from the palace. This spirit was wandering there, seeking revenge for her death. He explained that a demon had started residing within Madhu and would slowly take her life. Madhu's father loved her dearly and wanted to do anything to save his daughter. He pleaded with the priest to find some solution. The priest said that to protect Madhu from the influence of the evil spirit within her, someone would have to sacrifice themselves in her place. In this, the person would have to serve the spirit, which might even cost them their life. Madhu's father said that he would serve the spirit for his entire life, but would not let anything happen to Madhu. The priest conducted a grand ritual, in which Madhu and her parents participated. During the ritual, when Madhu opened her eyes, they were completely red, and she was cursing the priest. Suddenly, the priest chanted a mantra and threw red chili powder on her, and Madhu regained consciousness. Within moments, Madhu's father also regained consciousness. When Madhu regained consciousness, she was completely fine. The priest said to take Madhu as far away from Gwalior as possible. So Madhu's mother took her to Delhi, because her father was now a slave to the evil spirit and could not leave Gwalior. After Madhu left, the spirit's curse began to affect her father. He lost his job and started to remain very ill. But when Madhu returned to Gwalior, the spirit wanted to take Madhu's life. But instead, her father sacrificed his life to the spirit. After hearing the whole story from her mother, Madhu began to cry and apologized to her mother. Madhu's mother felt pity for her and hugged her daughter. She told Madhu that her father loved her very much, and under any circumstances, they wanted to keep it protected. After this incident, Madhu and her mother left Gwalior, forever. Even today, there are many reports associated with Gwalior Fort, where people jump from there to end their lives. What do you think? Is Gwalior Fort really haunted? This is all just a rumor. Do let us know in the comments below. And if you know of any haunted place in India that you would like us to make a video about, please tell us in the comments.